Hey guys, I am Justin Flynn. You're watching E3 Live powered by Twitch, and I am here with Paul Roschinsky, the game director for the game that you just saw. It is DriveClub, available only on PS4.
Yeah, entirely exclusive.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and we're coming out October 7th.
I did see that at the end of the trailer, so that's pretty soon. It's right around the corner here.
Just around the corner, yeah. We're very excited because obviously we're here last year at E3, but we're back again. We're showing off so much more this time around.
I've been looking forward to DriveClub, actually. I remember when I grabbed my PS4, I was kind of like, that racing game looks awesome. That's definitely one I'm going to pick up.
Yeah, we've spent such a huge amount of time going into the kind of obsessive detail of the cars, the tracks, the gameplay. I mean, I don't think you'll see a better look at driving game on the show floor today.
Well, I can't wait to take a look firsthand because we have some gameplay.
Yeah.
We have some actual gameplay, so let's cut to that and we'll kind of walk you guys through it, and you can take a look. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, this is Jamie, our community manager. He's just playing through one of the tracks inside the game. This is in India, in Nilgiri Hills. He's in Aston Martin just against the iPlanes. What we see here is just a straightforward point-to-point sort of racing. But the cool thing is, when this is connected online, we'll have things like face-offs. Now, face-offs are dynamic challenges which get dropped into the world. So that could be either a friend or a mate or someone entirely random who is matched to your skill level. And that could be try and drift around this corner and try and get a certain score, or try and beat an average speed, or try and nail the racing line. And we're trying to make sure that every time you race, whether you're first or last, you've always got something to do. There's always something new and challenging inside the race. You also see that every action that Jamie does, whether that's overtaking, drifting, drafting, etc., is earning fame. Now, one of the cool things about fame is that if you're in as part of a club, all your fame gets contributed towards your club, and you share in the rewards as you unlock them together. Yeah. So, for example, some of the cars you can only unlock when you're in a club. So you can see that's another Aston Martin front. That could be unlocked with a club. So you can play on your own, you can unlock the majority of the cars playing solo, but only when you're part of the club can you actually get access to everything inside the game.
Awesome. I love the incentive to explore a little bit more and just do as much as you can with the game. It's like, hey, you want to get the rest of the stuff? Check out all these other features in here. It's awesome. And I'm noticing the lighting here is insane.
Yeah, that's one of the key things with the game. Nothing is kind of pre-baked. There's nothing inside here which is faked. Everything is completely dynamic. So what will happen is, I think at the beginning of the race actually started at midnight, and it's already transitioned straight through to the daytime. So I think when Jamie jumps onto his next race, you'll see a different location. Again, I think that starts in the afternoon and then transitions into nighttime, and it completely changes gameplay because some tracks are lit like like race tracks where you've got like loads of floodlights and you can see where you're going. But a track like this where there's only ambient light, you're racing only with your headlights. And we've just announced today we've got weather as well. So with things like when it's raining or when it's snowing, I mean, you can barely be able to see where you're going. It's a completely different challenge when you're playing DriveClub.
And I would assume that the grip is going to be different. Yes. Obviously, you're going to be sliding all over the place in snow.
Yeah, exactly. And the race, as the race actually transitions, it can go from being dry to wet, back to dry, and then start to snow. So as you play through that, it will completely change how you handle, how you drift around the corners. It makes it a much more challenging experience.
And how many cars are we talking in this game?
We've got 50 cars.
Okay.
Now what we've done, we've tried to choose all the best cars from around the world. So we've got everything from Golf GTIs, kind of hot hatches, through to performance cars such as Maserati GT, all the way up to your kind of supercars, Ferrari F12, Hennessy Venom GT, and your hypers. So we really think we've got the best of all the cars from around the world. But then what we've done with the cars, we've kind of gone to extraordinary lengths to make sure that the insides and the outsides are modelled one-to-one with the real-world cars. And that just doesn't mean that they look great, but they also sound great as well, because we've got patented techniques of how we actually capture the audio for the cars inside the game. So we put 16 mics, well, or more, depending on the car, inside and outside the car, and we make sure that they're absolutely one-to-one. So again, we really think we're pushing boundaries with the audio. And when you actually play the game with the volume turned up loud, I don't think you've got any game that's closer to actually being inside the real car.
Wow, so yeah, you guys are really trying to create the whole entire experience for the gamer.
Yeah, but it's important to say that we're not actually a simulation, despite the fact we kind of simulate the visuals, the audio, the handling itself, it's extremely detailed, but we try to make sure it's a bit more fun, it's a bit more accessible than like titles like Gran Turismo, because we are part of the PlayStation portfolio, and it's important that Gran Turismo have their space and we do something different.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to drift a little bit more on DriveClub, brake a little bit later, and just ultimately have a bit more fun with the cars. But we did want to make sure as well, for those advanced users, you can still shave off those milliseconds off the lap time. And if you're someone who likes to race in the wheel, then you can play it, and it's obviously a bit more challenging on the wheel and a bit more in depth.
Yeah, I did notice you got a couple of different camera angles as well here. I love this one in the car. It's like so detailed, like you said. The inside of the car is crazy.
It's so close to reality. I mean, we've been fortunate enough as well to actually go in and sit in the majority of these cars as well and just compare them one to one. We actually.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There it was. He just like almost spun out. That's too cool.
Yeah. Almost, yeah, because obviously he was drifting out then onto the outside of the corner.
In snow.
I think we've got a variety of different surface conditions inside the game, so as he was drifting out wide, then his tyres would have hit the gravel, hit the puddles a little bit, and that would have changed the handling, so he might have just slipped out wide then.
That is really rad. And, you know, I noticed, so we were going through snow, and we're in, like, nice, sunny, beautiful area. What kind of environments are there as far as, like, locations?
We tried to choose kind of like 5 different locations which kind of take the essence of you know, like like Scandinavia, for example, Norway. Then we go to somewhere that's really hot like Chile. Then we've got India for the vibrancy and the colour. Then we've got Scotland, obviously it's well known for its rain. So we think we've got a really good mixture of kind of locations. And then we've got like a series of road circuits, road point-to-points, racetracks. We've got an absolutely fantastic variety inside the game. I think we've got 55 tracks in total.
Cool, yeah, so it sounds like it's kind of both like natural, like, you know, just regular open world, like you would see this road somewhere, but then, like you said, you have the tracks. Now, are there certain tracks that are in there, or these are just tracks that are conceptualized by you guys? Yeah,
well, what we tried to do is, obviously, we went to all these locations, did all the reference work, and we tried to capture the essence of each of these locations. And there will be some parts of the road that, if you live local to where we actually took some of the reference, you might say, oh, this looks actually very similar to one of the roads in DriveClub. But we tried to make sure that everything's tuned for the gameplay. So we'll exaggerate the height changes, or we'll put more corners, longer corners for bigger drifts, etc. So there's no real world tracks, but we try to make sure that they're all unique and there's something that you've never driven before. Nice.
So I see we're actually playing gameplay, which is you don't see a lot of times at E3. What's left to do here with this game? Is it just more fine tuning? Are you adding more vehicles? Like, what's the last what are we doing in the next couple months?
Oh, the next few months are going to be fun. It's fine tuning. Obviously, you know, it's the last few bugs we're kind of adding out, but we're already starting to look at what new features we can bring to the game as well. We've been trying to listen to the community and what they want. So yeah, we'll be bringing new cars. We'll be bringing new tracks, new features, new game modes, and everything we can to kind of keep the community playing DriveClub, because the biggest part of DriveClub was obviously socialising, being part of the club and keeping the community active. So we want to make sure that when we put the disc out on October 7th, that's not the end of the experience. We want to make sure that we're there and we support it and keep the community alive and fresh.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about that. Tell me more about the club aspect. Now, how do you get into a club? You just like, hey, what's up, dude? Can we want to be on my team?
There's a variety of ways of doing it. Obviously, if you've got friends who are already playing DriveClub, you can jump straight into their club. But what we try and do is we push suggestions to you and social connections. So we can say, actually, we can see one of your friends plays DriveClub and he's connected to someone else, and we'll send that suggestion and go, he's got an open slot in his club. Do you want to join that club? So we want to make sure that, you know, if you've got no PSN friends or anything like that, we can always try to make sure we're pushing suggestions and say, these guys have the same sort of skill level as you. These are ideal candidates. So just jump in with them. And it's the same with challenges as well. We're trying to make sure that, you know, there's always kind of new, fresh activities coming to you. But obviously, if you've got no friends or you're not in a club, then that's often difficult. So we push like suggested or promoted challenges to you. So you've always got something to try out. And maybe through one of the challenges, you'll participate in one of those races that we suggested to you, and you'll find a new friend who you'll compete against, and he might be in the club and you might join them. So we try to make sure that with the dynamic menu that we've got, there's always ways to connect between other people and make that seamless and immediate as possible.
Nice. Now, in these club races, so can there be like 4 clubs in a race, or is it always like one club versus another club?
One club versus another club. And that's what we've got on the show floor today on E3 at our booth. We've got 4v4 club racing. We wanted 6v6, but the booth's not big enough. That's a shame. So it's just a kind of a simple kind of points-based race. So depending on your position, you earn points, and then whichever club has the most points wins the challenge. And I think we're giving away some goodies as well on the show floor.
That's awesome. So like now with your club, is there gonna be like a ranking system? Like, oh, my club is the best club in the world, or what?
Yeah. So obviously that's more for the hardcore, but yes, you can have best club amongst your friends, best connected club, or the best club inside the world. So you'll have these elite clubs, and I think they'll be fighting over the best players inside the world.
Yeah, gaming's all about being tighter than the other person, so
yeah,
that's what's awesome. Oh, what's up, dog? Your club ain't as tight as mine. Get out of here. But no, that's cool. Can you challenge a club that's like, oh, this club has 1,000 points and my club has 200 points? Can you do that, or do you try and match make?
You can do club challenges.
Okay.
So, for example, your club of 6 friends, they go out and set the fastest lap time on a particular track. Each of those times gets averaged and then sent over to another club, and then each of the 6 members of the other club have to try and beat that time as a combined group. So it's not just one member who's the best, he sets the best time challenge over. It's about the combined efforts of everyone inside your club. So you really have to work together and make sure you kind of got no weak links. But that's for the more kind of hardcore players. Obviously, for the more casual, we're trying to make sure that if you're not as good as the rest of the club members, you can always contribute towards your club in different ways.
Okay.
So whether you're drifting or like Jamie's driving in the Ferrari F12 right now, and he can just race that car, his favourite car potentially, and he'll earn points which then get contributed towards the club and potentially even unlock new rewards for the club. So you don't have to be a great racer, obviously, unless of course you want to kind of jump into the leagues and be up there with the best.
Yeah, it's looking crazy. I want to check out a little bit of gameplay here. That's too cool. So now it's shifting. We're going to night.
Nighttime, yeah. So obviously, if Jamie just sat there on the track right now, the sun will just continue to go down. But the cool thing is, the player actually has the ability to change them settings himself. So obviously, we have like a full single-player campaign called Tour, which we set up all the races. So we try to choose some really cool night-to-day transitions. But you can choose what time you want to start racing. So for example, Jamie could choose this track and say, I want to start at midnight, and you can set it to 60 times like transition in terms of time of day.
You can set your transition?
Yeah. So you can transition really quickly, and then you can send that as a challenge to someone else.
That's really cool. Now I saw he got some points for like drifting and stuff. That adds to something?
Yeah, fame is like experience ultimately.
Okay.
You've got your own solo level, which unlocks things for you. But if you're in a club, that fame also contributes towards your club, which unlocks rewards for everyone inside that club. So if Jamie unlocked a new car, that would immediately be available for the rest of their club. And of course, a cool thing about being inside the club as well is that you got club liveries. So if the club leader creates a livery, that's then shared automatically across all of the teammates or club mates' cars as well.
Wow.
So you can race together in the same liveries with no effort.
That's interesting. Now you said there was some touch of customization here. Are we talking like, right? You said that you can shave some time off. Is that through car customization?
No, there's no performance customization. But you can create a new livery. So you can change the base color. You can put patterns on, badges, etc. to kind of create a unique identity to you or your club.
Okay, yeah, because of course it's more of an arcade racer on the surface. It's like a very like. The atmosphere is like real, true to racing, but you want everyone to be able to step into this game and not feel like, I don't know how to customize my car, man, I'm not going to play that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Every car's got one setup which we've kind of hand-tuned to what we think is like kind of near perfection for every single car. So yeah, it's very much a kind of fun, pick up and play, accessible racer.
Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you so much for being here again. Guys, the game director for DriveClub. Pick it up on PS4. It's coming out really soon. Again, October 7th,
October
right?
7th.
That is right around the corner. Get in line. Get in line right now. Actually, I'm going to go get in line so that I can go play it. I got to jump right off here and run over there. Again, guys, I'm Justin Flynn. You're watching E3 Live, powered by Twitch, and we'll see you soon.